The Red Bag. It was in the year of 1990, and we were ready with a manuscript of a book that was called God Created the World for All the Children. While we were in Germany, me and Stephen recorded in a studio cassettes about the 6 days of creation. I wanted very much to teach the children that God was their creator. They didn't come out of monkeys, and it was not the Communist Party who created them, the grass and the apples, as we learned in poems, but God was their creator, and He created the world in 6 days. And I wanted so much to have a book to make children fall in love with God. I read many books about Genesis and the creation, and none of them was very exciting. So I just, as we were living at that time in Germany, I prostrated myself on the carpet and I begged God, please give me wonderful words for the creation book, or I want to die. Soon after that, I received inspiration how to make every day of creation a fascination for children. Also, we had music, we bought music from all over the world, and Stephen translated songs that were exactly for the days of creation. Songs about the moon, about the star, about the sun, about day and about night, and about all the animals. So we had these songs translated by Stephen from all sorts of languages. And I have a gift to make poetry, and I made the poetry in Romanian. We put the book, the manuscript. Stephen typed the manuscript. He types Romanian very well. So we did the manuscript. We recorded everything in a studio. And it was a success. The children loved it. Not only that, the manuscript was taken by Germans and by Swiss people, and they said that all the children who listen to this version of creation fall in love and love God and admire the creation. And they look at a bug and at a butterfly as God's creation, not something to kill. And they look at animals with praising God. Anyway, we put all these manuscripts recorded in cassettes, smuggled them into Romania. Now Romania was free, and we wanted to have the manuscript put in a nice book. Samuel Butcher, an old friend of ours, he gave us permission to use all his pictures. He is a top artist for children, and he became a very good friend of ours. So all our books, he allows us to use anything that he creates. We arranged the manuscript, chose the pictures, but we needed money to print them. To print stories about the creation and to put beautiful pictures. We decided to have the best paper and the best colors. So the printer told us if we pay for 25,000 copies, the price would go down to $1. If not, the price would have been much higher. So we wanted to print at least $25,000 copies. We prayed and prayed for money, and the money didn't come that well. One spring, a radio station invited us to give an interview, and they invited me to give speeches to the ladies that would come for what the Americans have, breakfast ladies meeting. They come, they have speakers, and they present the needs of different missions, and they take an offering. I was invited to go to Indiana, so we drove to Indiana, to Fort Wayne. Sharp Binkley was an old friend of mine who interviewed me every year, ever since I arrived in the United States. She was fascinated to hear stories about the persecuted church, and I became her favorite. So she invited me to speak every year since 1985 to 1985. And then when I married Stephen, we went together, and we were invited to speak. Now she told me that there will be 3 other speakers, so I only could have just 10 minutes to speak. But she told me she wanted me to bring some national things from Romania to put on a table. She will make sure that people who wanted to support me and Stephen, they would have a place where to put their money and their checks. Well, to tell you the truth, when I left Romania, many people gave me gifts, Romanian national things, but I hated everything that reminded me of Romania. I gave away a lot of the things I preferred to have in my room, cheap $1 plastic things, to put on the table. I hated anything to do with Romania because I suffered very much in Romania. But when I married Stephen in 1985, because he had been a Bible smuggler in Romania, every time he went to Romania, he bought a lot of souvenirs. So he had a lot of Romanian things. And among them, a red bag. We went to Indiana and put a Romanian national cloth on the table and the red bag that was to be for anybody who wanted to give us a donation.
Peste 1000 de haine groase pentru iarnă, ghete, cizme și ciorapi, toate noi au ajuns de la marea familie din Statele Unite, chiar la cei care aveau mare nevoie, copiii din România. Bucuria deschiderii unui cadou a fost amplificată de mărimea containerului cu toate cele necesare copiilor pentru a fi feriți de frigul iernii. La descărcarea celor peste 5 tone de ajutoare au fost martori și cei cărora le erau destinate darurile. Ei au primit chiar acolo haine și încălțăminte care să le țină de cald.
We went, and the radio station paid for me and Stephen to stay in a hotel. And they, of course, paid for us to eat at the restaurant near the radio station. They wanted us to be well rested and so on, and to be good for the interview. So there were 2 days ladies' breakfast meetings. And the third day, there was to be an interview. Me and Stephen being invited. Anyway, I did not know what to expect. And I thought, well, when I speak longer, the people get to hear me, the whole story and more stories, and then they are touched and they give me money. But in 10 minutes, what can I say? I ask the Lord to bless me. When my turn came to speak, so it was a lady away day, and it went on for 2 days. On the first day, about 400 ladies came in the morning at about 8 o'clock. We had coffee, we had orange juice, we had pancakes, jam, very delicious breakfast. And after that, the speakers had to speak, each one 10 minutes. There were 4 speakers, I was one of them. The others were authors and writers, and they had books to sell, so they were presenting their new books. The ladies were very nice and warm to me. Everybody hugged me. It was a wonderful atmosphere. And but I thought, how can I touch the hearts of the ladies if I only speak for 10 minutes? But the Lord helped me, and as I spoke to them, I told them that we want to make a book on creation with precious moments art, and to have songs and wonderful stories about the days of creation, because the Romanian children were taught that the Communist Party created the grass and the apples and everything, or we came out of monkey. So creation is very important. I spoke for about 10 minutes. I told them that I suffered in Romania very much because I taught children to sing to God. And then I was exiled from Romania, and Jimmy Carter rescued me to the United States. And I want very much to do something for children. After I spoke, it was like the power of God fell into the meeting. And the ladies started to cry, just out of the blue, they started to cry. And one lady said, I have a business meeting and I have to go right away. I know that you take the love offering after everything is over, but can I give you a check now for the creation book? So sharp-blinkly said, of course. And then she wrote a check right away, $700. I was amazed, but then something very unexpected happened. The ladies stood up one after another. I made a long line, stood in line to give me money for the creation book. And they said first, can I also give you money now? And can I also give you money now? Of course I allowed them. And it was incredible. They stood in line, and you could hear the sound of checks being torn. And checks were coming, and cash was coming. Ladies were dropping in the red bag, $100, $20, $50 bills. Suddenly I thought, from now on, I'm going to love the national things, and I'm going to love the red bag. That was the Romanian national bag. Well, it was a wonderful day. And Stephen counted the money, and we counted the money, and it was $3,800. The second day, Charles Binkley, the director of the radio station, told me, I've never had anything like that happening to me. And you should not expect the same to happen. The second day, we do not know. So I said, well, we'll just pray and whatever the Lord will give us. We thought maybe, pastors will invite us in churches and we will speak and sell books or so, and have love offerings. But the Lord had blessings in store for us, for the creation book. Second day, again, about 400 ladies came. It was a ladies away, that means the husbands do all the work at home. Take care of the child, take care of the kitchen, everything. That's what the American call day away, was for ladies. So the husbands do everything in the house and the ladies take a vacation, half a day vacation, and they eat together and have a wonderful time. They have speakers. Anyway, the second day, I did not know what to expect. Again, I told the ladies that I want to have children's books to teach the children that God created the world and God was their creator. And I told them a few stories about Romania, that I suffered in Romania.
Creația a luat sfârșit cu mii de ani în urmă, dar tot ce a creat Dumnezeu în acea zi a rămas minunat până în ziua de azi. Ce mare creator este Dumnezeu!
And suddenly, the power of the Holy Spirit fell on all these 400 ladies. And they started to cry. You could hear, only handkerchiefs everywhere. And one lady said, I heard about you yesterday, what happened here. I was not here yesterday, but I want to ask you, can I give you a check right away for the book? Yes, of course. I was very happy. With the permission of the director, she came to give me a check right away. She did not have patience to wait to the end. But then the other ladies all stood up and made a line. As you wait in line for some things to buy, they made a long line. 400 women stood up and they waited in line to come to hug me and to put money in the red bag, checks and cash. And when we finished, we were amazed. We counted the money with Stephen and it was $4,200. Over 4,000. We were and we went to the hotel and praised the Lord and thanked the Lord for His goodness. Now, the third day that we were there, we had to be interviewed by Shar Binkley. So Shar Binkley is a wonderful radio. She's a radio person, very gifted and much loved in the area. We went there and she interviewed us. She asked me to share with the listeners a little bit about my life in Romania. But then they said, now what is your prayer request? Because we have many people who pray for the Lord's work. Stephen said, we want to print 25,000 books about the creation. We have everything prepared, the manuscript, the songs, the cassettes, but we need money. The pictures processed for every song and for every story. So Charles Binkley invited the listeners, anybody who wanted to help, to invite us in their churches and to donate money. This radio station is live, so accepts questions and answers. And somebody called in from Fort Wayne. It was a little girl of 10. And she said, I heard that you want to make a book about God creating the world for the children. And I heard that you collect money. So she said, how much money do you need? How much more money do you need? We told her that we have almost $10,000. And she said, I want to give all my saving for the children of Romania. I have $50. She said, I washed dishes and I cut the grass and I cleaned cars. So she said, I have in my bank, I have $50. So I want to give it all. But her mother said, no, you have to keep some for yourself because you worked very hard. But this girl, her name was Tresina. She said, no, Mom, I want to give all for the children of Romania. She said, just think, with $50, I can give the Bible to 50 children in Romania, and I can give them Jesus. So she insisted her parents to bring her at the radio station to give me the money, to give us the money personally. So she said, are you still there if we come in 20 minutes? And so her mother said, I will bring out Tresina with this donation. So we waited, and she came and we received her check. She was a small girl with green eyes and brown hair and the thick glasses she had on her eyes. And we thanked her very much, and we hugged her and kissed her, and then we said goodbye. Well, it was very interesting. Charles Binkley said to everybody that Tresina gave all the money for the children of Romania, for the creation book, and how that she argued with her mother that she wanted to give every penny, every dollar. It was a wonderful testimony over the radio, so everybody knew about Tresina. So the children started to collect money for the creation book because they wanted to follow her example. But something terrible happened. After 2 days, Tresina was walking by a lake, and she was on some strong medication. She had some health issues. She fell in the lake and drowned. It was a sad tragedy, and Fort Wayne, all the schools mourned her death, went to her funeral. Everybody was very touched because they compared her with the boy who gave to Jesus the 5 loaves of bread and the 2 fish, and God multiplied it. So all the children wanted to do something for the creation book to follow Tresina's example. So we started to receive thousands of dollars from this school and from that boy and from that girl. And then when the funeral took place, her mother said, instead of anything in her memory, to have a love offering for the creation book. So we came another $1,300, $1,300. And then we were there in that area and spoke in two churches. One gave us $2,000 and another one $2,500. Suddenly we received the money for the book. We printed it and we sent it to Romania, and it was a great blessing. Even now is used by children to teach them that God created the world.